Yeah, hold on. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk about it. Ooh, that boy a critic, yeah, he talk too much. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk about it. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk too much. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk it, he don't live it. Ooh, that boy a critic. Ooh, that boy a critic. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk it, he don't live it. Ooh, that boy a critic. Yeah, I know.
Peace, big love, big blessings, even bigger living. Everything that comes with that and everything in between. You are tuned into Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David, and it's just a conversation. Listen, family, this man next to me is an extremely special guest, and I know every guest I say is a special guest, but we talking special guests. He is one of my mentors, my OGs. Do you feel me? He is an author, a youth advocate, a recipient of many awards and recognition as well. Motivational speaker, right? He's the man behind the message. He is the CEO and founder of Motivation Squared, Motivation Company. He's the executive director of Gear Up at Wichita State University. He's pastor as well. That's why I ain't got my liquor out today. Pastor as well. And just an overall man of the community and man of good faith, good spirits, and good conversation. I have the brother, Riccardo Harris, but I'm going to call him Wakey. I got Riccardo Harris joining us. Thank you for joining today.
Man, I'm glad to be here. Call me Wakey.
Call you Wakey?
That was the first name I ever answered to.
I like that. How'd the name happen?
So I have an older brother.
Yeah.
He's 2 years, 3 months older than I am. And he before I was born, he thought that the baby wakes up. And so he would ask my mom, when is baby Wakey coming? And so when I was born, she brought me in the house and he yelled, baby Wakey. So
yeah.
So I was baby Wakey until I outgrew that, and
it just stuck with you.
It just stuck with me. So people that call me Wakey know me.
I like that. So I got that privilege.
I'm not offended by it.
Say word.
Some people would think I would be offended by it.
Yeah.
Hey, do I call you pastor? Call me Wakey, please.
I like that. You know, that. Well, Wakey, one of my questions I love to start the show off with, because I think it's important, is how's your spirit?
Bro, I'm in a good place right now.
No doubt.
I'm in a good place. It took me a while to get here, though.
Okay.
It took me a while to get here, but I'm in a really good positive place right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been here in a long time.
Wow. Oh, so you jumping already into it, and I like that because we can jump right into it, right? And I want to know how you got there. You got your new book just released. I've been reading it, right? Addicted to Average. Make sure y'all hit Amazon.com, search Riccardo Harris, Addicted to Average. Get that book ASAP. But in your book, you talk about purpose, finding that purpose. Right, and even in your, what do you call it, prologue, the intro, you talk about how you were in a space where God told you, like, your resume's cool, the resume cool,
right?
But you ain't where you're supposed to be, and you combine that with saying you finally in a good space. Tell me how you got here.
So that part of the book, that I wrote that introduction years ago.
Okay.
So he woke me up years ago and told me that, and I wrote it that day, that very day, and so he's telling me that you are addicted to average, and I started breaking my stuff down. Man, hold on, man. I bought my first house.
Come on.
25.
Come on.
I'm doing this, and I'm an executive, and I'm doing all this stuff. And,
yeah.
And you bragging.
Come on.
How that's what we do though. You
yeah.
know? Huh? Oh yeah. I did this. I did this. And God's like, okay, but you're still addicted to average, and that's based upon you. It's not based upon comparing you to anybody else.
Word.
And that's the hard part about it. That's what we believe. We believe, okay, compared to so-and-so. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I've been comparing myself to other people my entire life. You've been looking in the lane next to you.
Yeah.
And you've been saying, oh, he's there. I need to do more to get to that point.
100.
All of us have a capacity.
Okay. Yeah.
This water bottle is full to capacity. Right?
Word.
Many of us are functioning at this level here.
Hydrated. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
And when we're functioning at this level, it might be great compared to your peers or compared to other people that you've been around.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with your capacity. Your capacity is not my capacity.
Real life.
We all have different capacity, and that was based upon what God gave. So when you talk about purpose, God gave each and every one of us a purpose.
Factuals.
And it doesn't look like anybody else's. And that's the hard part. So, you know.
No, that's real. You know, and purpose is one of my favorite things to talk about. I think 3 P's, right? Purpose, profit, and passion. Because sometimes we may not recognize our purpose. We think our passion is what we're supposed to do, right? And even in some cases, it don't provide that profit. But I also look at purpose as like a tool, right? And keep me honest if you feel the same way or if you see it differently. So I think like our purpose right now in this conversation may be to inspire, motivate, or to give somebody something they don't currently have. When we walk out of here, we might serve a different purpose.
Absolutely.
It's all situational.
It is situational. And that's hard for us to grasp. It is situational. So my purpose on my job might be different than my purpose in the community. So
Yeah.
you follow what I mean?
I'm following you all the way.
So my purpose on my job is to do the task.
Yeah.
And to do the things according to what it is I'm supposed to be doing. What am I supposed to be doing in the community? What is my purpose in the community? And that changes, though. You know what I'm saying? That changes. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about the community.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about, okay, this is where I grew up, man. I grew up like this.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about those things.
Yeah.
But then you see the cracks. You see the crevices. You see the breaking. You see all of those things that's happening in the community, and you want to do something about it.
Okay. Talk to me.
But it's hard to do something about it by yourself.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know, you see, I run into people and say, "Oh man, you done forgot about anybody forgot about you." I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten. This is my heart. This is born and bred.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I care about what takes place in the community. I care about my people, man.
Yeah. Got to make. It's a song. She wanted Chance the Rapper's song. She said, "I got to clean up the park because that's where my daughter playing."
Bro, that's
you feel me?
real.
It's a real thing.
That's real.
You in Fairmount District. I know that's where you grew up at. I grew up in Fairmount District as well. The 16 Gentry, Dirty Rings Around the Tub, real thing, right? Fairmount Park. How has the community changed since you were a youth?
Wow, it's different, man. It's very, very different. When I was younger, community was everywhere.
Okay.
It wasn't just where you were. It was everywhere. I remember one time I was on the bus. And we used to ride the city bus, man.
Yeah.
To get to town east. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that's what we did.
100.
So we riding the bus, and one day I was on the bus, and I was not talking trash, showing out or something, and there was an older lady on the bus. And she asked me a question. And the question was, does your mama know that you're acting this way? And I paused for a minute.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing smart or nothing like that. It was she felt like it was her obligation.
Okay.
To check me.
Yeah.
She didn't embarrass me, but she checked me.
Yeah.
The community has lost its checks.
I think that's the real thing, right? Because often if you see me out, if I see your kids out, because one of the things I love about Wichita's proximity, I say it's a gift and a curse, right? Everybody knows everybody, and everybody thinks they know everybody in that same token. And like my daughter's friends or my son's friends or even classmates, like, who's your parents? Who's your peoples? Because I bet I know them. I've either worked with them, done something with them in some capacity, and I don't know that everybody moves that way.
No.
And we have to.
We have to.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, but it's important. I saw, and I don't want to misquote this proverb, man,
Yeah.
but I saw, I read a whole lot. I was reading this morning. It was a proverb, and it says, if a child doesn't feel warmth from a village, its village,
Yeah.
he'll tear it up to start his own fire, so that he'll feel warmth. Basically, you know,
Wow.
and you know, I use my own words, but that's what it's saying,
sure.
basically. And so that's what we're seeing in our community. We're seeing fractures and we're seeing fires.
Yeah.
And what's happening is that there's a seeking of belonging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And worth.
I want to be a part of something.
I want to be a part of something, man. So.
Man, I quote rap lyrics all day, but Vince Staples has a lyric in his song too. He said, I'm gonna mess it up, but essentially he says, we was following folks who lost their way.
You know how real that is?
Come on.
That's real.
Yeah.
Nobody, because sometimes the course wasn't charted.
Yeah.
And if the course wasn't charted, it's like there was no road. And if there was no road, you had to make your own path.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? And in making your own path, you're knocking down trees, you're doing whatever you got to do to get on that path.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, we lost some people along the way.
We tear it up. We tear it up.
We tear it
Wow.
up.
Wow, man, you got me going. You got me going. I'm looking at my questions and I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm trying to make them stay on point because we're gonna go. We're gonna go all the way there, and I'm cool. I'm cool with going all the way there. I want to jump back a little bit back to purpose and passion, right? And respectfully, you're a couple years my senior, right? Like I said, you're one of my OGs, and I even want to put a different connotation on the word OG. It ain't the original gangster thing. I like to say original guider. Right, somebody that paved the way from afar. Even I don't even have to call you to know. Like, okay, I like the way Riccardo's moving because I can model those steps. Right. What are you after? So again, when I'm reading your book and you talking about being addicted to average, you talk about that purpose. Right. I'm a solid 34. Right. You've been married 30 years. Yeah. We're gonna get to the marriage part as well because I think that's an important conversation amongst brothers. But where you at in life now? Like, what sparks you to want to be after something that you weren't after before?
Man, I fought putting this book out.
Okay.
I did, and so the fighting of it was, you mentioned something the other day, and I knew where you were. Okay. When you said the quote you said about the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I know you were talking about something else, but things happen in our lives to get us back in our comfort zone. They happen to get us back to where we're comfortable. Yeah. So really what we have to challenge, where growth takes place, growth takes place in uncomfortability.
Factuals.
You follow what I'm saying? So when I'm stretching, if I'm lifting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I'm pushing myself to that limit to gain some more. Yeah. And so we've been making people too comfortable. That's what we've been doing. And in doing that, we've hurt them.
Yeah, because everything is easy access. Everything is microwave. Online, you only see the highlights. You don't see the practice. You don't see the long nights.
But you don't see the practice. But go back. You said that. Let you talk about that. Yeah. Practice. We talking about practice.
We talking about practice.
We talking about practice.
Come on.
Huh? Yeah. When AI said that, when he said that, people were offended by that. Mm-hmm. He said not a game. But we're talking about practice. Yeah. He was being criticized because he didn't show up to practice.
Let's go deeper.
Let's go. I'm going to tell you why. We go to why.
And you might already be there. We talk trauma amongst men, right? And what folks forget is he lost one of his best friends.
That's what I'm talking about. That week.
That week.
And that's why he missed practice. He lost one of his best friends. And so he's hurting. He was away to be with the family during that particular time. Yeah. So you talking to me about practice right now when I'm hurting. Yeah. Trauma, man. That right there is something that we don't talk about as men. We don't talk about it as black men. Because if we do, what happens is we're saying, "Oh man, you saw." Come on. You know what I mean? Come on. Don't never let them see you sweat.
Come on. Let's take a quick break because we're going to spend a lot of time on trauma. Listen, we're going to holler at our sponsors real quick, and then we about to get deep. We about to go swimming. Be right back. Whether you are buying or selling a home, sometimes the most important decision that you're going to make is finding the right agent and choosing the right agent to represent you throughout the entire process. Well, Kerry Dunn is that guy. Kerry's with Next Home Excel and is a licensed real estate agent and has been in the game for the past 15 years. Kerry is one of the top producing agents in Wichita and the surrounding areas as well. Listen, buying a home is a big investment, and it's important to have a full-time experienced agent working with you, having your best interest at heart. You can definitely count on Kerry to be responsive to all of your needs, to be knowledgeable about the entire transaction, from contract negotiations to home inspections to appraisals to close. Visit kerrysold.com if you're looking to buy you a new home right now. If you're selling a home, it's equally important to align yourself with an experienced agent who will walk you through the critical stages of pricing your home correctly, as well as preparing that property for the market. At Next Home Excel, they have the best tools in the industry to help you showcase your home to get the most exposure, including professional photography, 3D walkthrough, plus more. Again, visit kerrysold.com to get your process started. Loved ones, thank y'all for staying tuned in. So before we went to break, we talking about trauma and mental health conversations amongst black men. It's getting better compared to where we were, but we still got so many moves to make, right? I'm on the board of the Mental Health Association of South Central Kansas, as well as Rose, right? Rose reached out to someone else. Rose is dedicated mental health to the African American community. And this generation now, like they are, it's easier for them to talk about their feelings. it's in the music much more, right? The song Lil Uzi's got the joint where he say, all my friends are dead. As an adult, it's easy to criticize that song. Like, what is he talking about? But he's like, yo, in real life, like, you pushing me to the edge. All my friends are dead, right? And I had an opportunity to speak about mental health and hip hop at the 100 Black Men conference that I had the privilege, the pleasure to hear you give such a profound word on as well. But mental health amongst black men is like such a taboo conversation. What was it like as you were growing up?
Man, growing up, we had to be tough.
Word.
When I say it had to be tough, when I say tough, it was like we was like flexing, like taking, and you had to take the punch.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
100.
And not break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, hey, can you take this and see how tough you are?
Word.
You know, I remember, so I grew up playing football. Football was my number one sport.
Okay.
That was my number one sport. I went to college to play basketball, but football was my number one sport.
And it's wild because sitting right here, I'm like, dang, Wake, I didn't realize you were that big. Like you
you
got a solid 2 or 3 inches on me. Keep going. I digress.
So I remember tackling somebody or getting hit or whatever, man. And what we called it back then was, oh man, you got your bell rang.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? You going, huh? You got your bell ring. You know, gonna ring my bell. That's what it was. And so you go to the sideline and you shake it off.
Okay.
And then you get yourself together and go back in the game.
Yeah.
But that same concept is the same concept that we used in life. Was we got knocked out. Man, that was a concussion, man.
Come
on. You know what I'm saying? A concussive experience. And so in experiencing that, shaking it off, you still had that thing. That thing may have been ringing for days or weeks or whatever it may be. But we experienced that in life.
Talk to me.
And when we experience it in life, we experience it by hearing of our friend that we talk to all the time that died.
Come on.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our friend that may have taken his life, and that's a conversation that we don't have.
Yeah.
Now, there are people like you and me, and there are people who are taking their lives because they see no other way out.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that you're part of the Mental Health Association. I love that. My background, man. My first real job with a card and everything like that out of college, man. I started the children's home and then I went into case management. So I was one of the first children's case managers in the city, man.
Wow.
And so mental health, that was big for me.
100%.
That was very, very big. So working with people, helping them to see that people are supporting them where they are.
Real life. No, and trauma, right? Like me and one of my partners, we talk about, like, as crazy as it sounds, if a balloon pops, I might duck.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm ducking it. I might grab something. Hey, just.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And he was saying, even talking about how if furniture starts moving, just because the trauma he dealt with his mother and domestic violence, right? When furniture starts moving, how it kind of rings a thing, right? This trauma thing that we deal with as black men, it's people in general, but I want to focus on the black man part because there's such a stigma on us. We got to be tough. We got to be strong. You ain't supposed to cry. You ain't supposed to share your feelings. Oh, you being a punk now. Like, that's all of those soft things that you soft, right? Yeah. What do you think helps break that type of stigma?
I think what's happening now,
100%.
Having this conversation now is a beginning.
Yeah.
And I believe conversations have already started. I'm not saying they haven't started, but they're happening privately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that I talk about, briefly in the book, but I talk about therapy, man. Listen, people say, well, and people, and I'm talking, sometimes people go to church. You can go to church and say, well, I'll talk to the pastor. Well, that's if the pastor has time or has the skill to be able to talk to you about the mental challenges.
The skill, come on.
You follow what I'm saying? So that's the piece of it, the skill. Now, the spiritual piece, absolutely. And I know the word of God is great. I love it. However, there are some mental challenges that some people are dealing with that they can't talk about.
100%.
And I'm an advocate for therapy. Somebody going to go talk to somebody and sharing. And the greatest thing about that is that being able to hear your own words that you couldn't tell nobody.
And you getting them out of your head. Everything up here you already believe in.
Right. And we don't trust nobody though. So because we don't trust nobody, I'm not gonna go talk to somebody I don't trust.
Yeah. Man, you preaching. You preaching. That's a real thing. And I think, and I recognize that trauma, and a lot of times folks will vent to a friend or want to talk to a friend, and then your friend's not a professional or an expert in this space. And what I love even about therapists and counselors is they don't give you answers.
They don't.
Right?
The good ones don't.
They don't. They ask you questions.
They ask you questions.
They help
to what? To explore your thinking.
That part, right?
Come on.
They ask you the questions, and they give you practices or processes that you can work through your own thoughts.
Absolutely.
Or your own habits. So go see therapy, man. Counseling is extremely important. We talk about unaddressed trauma. Like, I know I've got trauma that's unaddressed. I'm transparent. I ain't had no pops. I got daddy issues. I got mama issues. You know what I'm saying? And they sit on me, and I work through and navigate those in different spaces. But unaddressed trauma, right? Knowing you, and tell me if I'm going too deep. Like we're gonna go deep, right? I know you lost your son to senseless violence, right? 2008.
Right.
How long did that trauma sit on you before you tackled it and said, you know what, I gotta address this thing?
So Robert was killed in 2008, January 2008, and
it's a hell of a start to a year.
Yeah, you think about, man, we were at church a few days before, getting ready for the new year, man.
Yeah.
I remember him and I going out to eat, and we were eating breakfast, and he said, man, this is gonna be my year.
Word.
That's what he said. This is gonna be my year, and he felt that.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my year, and so when that happened, Robert wasn't in a gang.
Mm-hmm.
Robert wasn't hanging around gang. This was not. It was random, right? And so when that happened, man, immediately I went into that mode of, okay, I gotta check the box.
Yeah.
We go into check-in box mode. So is the family taken care of? What are we doing?
You providing and protecting.
Right. Providing and protecting. The funeral. Okay, we gotta do this. Who's gonna preach? Who's gonna speak? Who's gonna do this? So I'm going through all of these different things, and bro, what I did is I tucked my trauma.
Yeah.
I tucked it, and
100.
I tucked it so deeply that I didn't even realize it was there. I just continued with my life. I continued to preach. Huh? T.D. Jakes said something in one of his books, and he was talking about leading while bleeding. And that's what I was doing. I didn't realize it. 2 years later, almost to the day.
Wow. Okay.
2 years later, almost to the day, I'm in a place where I'm so angry, I'm mad. I am mad at God.
Yeah.
I said, God, how could you take my only son? How could you allow him to do that?
The irony in that question.
And you know what his answer was, don't you?
Let me hear it.
I know what you feel.
Ooh, wait, come on. Come on, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, dude, I left. You talking about problems, man, I went through some stuff. I shut myself in a hotel room. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I don't know what other people around me heard. I know what was happening in that room.
Yeah.
But I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. And I'm so mad at it. That was my breaking point.
Okay.
So the point is that the trauma is going to have to break. It's going to have to come. Trauma's like water, man.
Come on.
Grieving, trauma is like water, meaning it's going to find its way out.
It's going to find its way out.
It's going to find its way out. And so that's what happened, man. And I'm there, man. I didn't want to preach no more.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything anymore. I didn't want to be married anymore. I didn't want to be anything anymore. I was so angry and I was so mad at God. And I felt like I was getting ready to explode.
Wow.
And in that place where I was getting ready to explode, I remember calling my friend. My friend, he's a therapist.
Okay.
And I said, man, I need to talk to somebody. Can you refer me to somebody?
What put that on you to
It had to be spirit, man. It had to be God. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what it had to be because I knew that I had to talk to somebody.
100%.
I had never done that before. Well, I did when I was in college, long years ago, but not about anything like this.
Yeah.
And then, man, I started hearing myself. And so my first book I wrote it about that.
I did peep that. Yes, indeed.
That's what I wrote. I wrote about that, and I wrote about the misery that I experienced, and how is it going to motivate me to be better than I am. But that's my truth. I was telling the truth. Everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story.
And this is the piece, and I hope people that are listening hear this. Don't let anybody else tell your story.
That's it. That's it.
That's why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
It's your narrative. This is yours.
Yeah.
Other people, they're going to put their spin on it. They're going to tell certain things. People are looking at this right here and say, oh, well, yeah, I know this about it. No, you don't.
Yeah. Autobiography versus biography.
Talk to me.
Come on. Listen, you talk about that trauma and that grief. You know, when I lost my, and being the, you know, that protector, that provider, right? When I lost my grandmother, went through the planning process. You know, it was expected due to where we were at, right? And it was able to be planned. And I lost my uncle after going through the process of planning with him for my grandmother, and became almost the man of my family. Not the man of my house, but the man of my family. Right. And I was doing a lot. I'm just headstrong, going boom, 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 trying to bring the family together, doing all types of different things that just make sense to me where we at collectively, trying to fill gaps from what we've lost. And what I recognized is that two pieces. Can't save nobody else. I can't help nobody else get to where I expect them to be, right? And then the other thing was that I didn't take time to myself. I quit my job. I said, I'm not going to do nothing that's not, I had my job was paid. I was good. I left my job. I don't want to do nothing that's not purpose driven. Wow. Left my job, took a smaller role, like all types of decisions that were based off of grief, off of unaddressed trauma. And my wife supported me through it. She's like, I get it. I'm here for you. But then it became a point where it was like, all right, bro, what we gonna do? You feel me? And so, and it took that for me to snap out of it, to wake up out of it. But we talk about grief, and grief don't care about nothing. Nothing. Grief, come on, grief pull up when you happy, you sad, and it pulls up happy or sad or angry or frustrated or annoyed or all the feelings. There's so many feelings that go into that grief thing that people don't acknowledge. That's even why they're feeling like that, right? But I recognize also that through our trauma, there's like a light. Come on. There's something that grows out of that. Come on. What grew out of your trauma?
A whole lot grew out of my trauma.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that grew out of my trauma is helping me to know me, to know myself.
Yeah.
You know, to know myself. I think a lot of times what we do is we define ourselves based upon how other people receive us.
Facts.
You follow me?
100%.
So, okay, I'm this to her, or I'm this to him, I'm this to this person, and so all of that stuff, that's what we do. Mm-hmm. And when we do that, we think that's our identity.
Come on.
That's a role you play right there. It has nothing to do with your identity. So
yeah.
When you go back to the purpose piece, the identity is given by God. Your identity, who you are, who Facts. I am, is not based upon my roles.
Come on.
It's based upon my capacity and what it is He created me to do.
Come on. Oh, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, man. Ooh, you got my spirit moving. Because it's a real thing, and it's something that I encourage brothers to have those conversations. That's why I love the barbershop.
Oh, man.
All right.
Best conversations I've ever experienced in life.
Come on.
Sit, your haircut's over. Or even you go early just to sit and talk.
You feel me?
Because you are missing that camaraderie with men.
Yes.
You need hearing men that look like you.
Come on.
To talk to you and talk about what's going on in their lives. And you're like, oh man, I'm not the only one.
You feel my favorite thing about me pulling up to the barbershop, and you talk about how people see when I the trauma and the grief and the losses that I had put me in a space to where I stopped. I'm not gonna cuss because I want to be respectful to Pastor Harris, but it definitely put me in a space to where I was like, I didn't give a shit what nobody thought about me or how they see me, and now how I'm showing up is how I'm showing up, no matter where I'm at. Right. And sometimes I get to motivate on accident. Right. And it's funny when I pull up to the barbershop because they like, oh, we know when Sam pull up, it's a therapy session. Because I'm going to ask questions that I genuinely care about for my brothers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're venting about your lady, hey, I want to know what you're doing to fix it.
Right.
You know.
And so what the powerful piece you talked about that, and I see your show.
Word.
And I see your show being birthed out of your pain.
Definitely.
Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of this stuff, and that's what I see. That's what I love. I love that.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for doing that, man. Many of us are not going to do that stuff, man.
Word.
I'm going to this place where I'm weak and where I'm struggling, and even though I'm in this place, we're going to address some of this stuff. Man, that's amazing.
Because it's just a conversation.
It's a conversation.
and conversation changes the world. Perspective changes the world. Insight. I like to say if I'm having a conversation and somebody introduces a new thought, I might change my mind mid-conversation. Cool. Right? Just because that perspective. So
that's what this book's about. Conversation.
Yes.
It's a conversation. It's a conversation between me and God, and then a conversation with whoever's listening.
Come on.
That's what it is.
Come on, listen. We're gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna get into some more. I just don't want to get so caught up in the conversation that technology don't want to see me shine. So we're gonna take one more break. We're gonna holler at our sponsors, and we're gonna be right back. JRMortgage Group is a proud sponsor of Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. JRMortgage Group is founded and based in Wichita, Kansas, and its sole focus is to offer its clients and referral partners the best mortgage experiences. Buy, build, and invest with JRMortgage Group. With JRMortgage Group, anything is positively possible. Give them a call at 316-247-9639 or visit the website at jrmortgagegroup.com. JR Mortgage Group Incorporated, offering personalized mortgage solutions, fast customized quotes, great rates, and service with integrity. Not all borrowers will qualify. This is not a commitment to lend. JR Mortgage Group is an equal housing lender. Again, JR Mortgage Group, jrmortgagegroup.com. Loved ones, we back. All right. Wakey, you was talking about what's in the book, the conversation in the book. Talk to us about Addicted to Average and what. Don't give it away because folks got to go pick that up. They got to go to Amazon.com or pull up their Kindle and search Riccardo Harris, Addicted to Average, and make sure you tap in ASAP. You can check the ebook, which I got, or you can get your physical copy. But talk to us about what's in the book and what they can expect to take away.
What they can expect to learn is they can learn about me. And I'm having a conversation, and that's what it is. It's a conversation between me and God, and conversation with myself, and then conversation with anybody who's willing to tap in and listen.
I like that.
That's what it is. And
I like that.
I've held things so close to my chest, man. And I thought I had to do that to keep from hurting. I'm going to call it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we hold whatever is close to us to keep us from hurting. But actually what we're doing is that we're protecting, we think we're protecting the hurt. You're not protecting the hurt.
Yeah.
You're holding it in and you're not allowing anybody in, or even God.
Yeah. Come on.
To deal with that hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go to the doctor and you don't tell the doctor what's wrong with you. You sit down. You sit down on the little thing and everything like that, and he check your stuff and he check everything, your temperature good, blood pressure good, checking all of that stuff that's going on with you and everything like that. And then he asks you the question, why are you here?
Come on.
But you don't say anything.
Yeah.
You say, you the doctor, you should know. And that's how we treat things. We're not willing to acknowledge our pain or acknowledge what's bothering us. The doctor then says, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Unless you tell me what's going on. Are you having trouble walking? Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you having you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So we go and we treat God like that. That's how we treat God.
Jay-Z said, and I'll quote rap all day, say, you can't heal what you never reveal.
Bro, you better say that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man. I love that you said what they can learn from you in that book. Right, and what they can learn about you, because learning and teaching. Right, I say we two things happen in life. We either are taught, right, or we observe and learn. Right. So even I want to say switching gears, but building on who you are. Right. So in your role at Gear Up, executive director of Gear Up, in your role in the community and the things that you look to instill in the youth. Right. How important is it? Not just for them to learn and be taught, not just to be taught, but for them to observe and learn from role models or things that they could see and pick up on.
you hit it on the head. It's very, very important. You know, in my role at Gear Up, so what we're doing is we're helping kids get ready to go to college. Gear Up stands for Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs. So we're pointing them, showing them that college is an option.
Word.
And most people don't believe college is an option because the first thing they think about is how am I going to pay for this?
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay for this? So what we do is we show families.
Okay.
We don't just work with students. We work with teachers, but we also work with families. We show families how there's money out there.
Yeah.
You know? But if you don't apply for it, it doesn't come to you. It doesn't just show up.
Facts.
You know? It doesn't show up. Man, I was smart in school, man. When I say I'm smart, bro, I was like, okay, all right, man, I'm gonna do this, man. I'm doing this. My grades is top notch, man. I get a sports letter. I get academics letters. I was killing it. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was doing the thing. At the end of my senior year, I went to a scholarship banquet.
Okay.
And I'm sitting at the scholarship banquet. And I'm hearing all these people's names called. So-and-so gets $500. So-and-so gets $10,000. You know, I'm hearing all this stuff, and I'm waiting to hear my name called. They never called my name. And they never called my name. But I found out later they didn't call my name because I didn't apply.
That's layered in itself. Keep going.
If I had applied, I would have got a scholarship.
Facts.
But I didn't know to apply.
Yeah.
So I missed out. How many of us are missing out on things that we did not apply for?
Come on. That's a word. That's a word. You get nothing back if you don't apply.
You get nothing. And that's with life.
You
got to push yourself. So you got to apply. So putting your name in the hat or whatever it may be. But you also got to apply yourself.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You don't just wait. Nobody's going to just drop it in your lap. That would be amazing if somebody came and knocked on the door. Hey, I'm from the Publishing Clearinghouse, and here this is it. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You got to do something. You got to put yourself in position to receive.
Yeah.
But that's a place of vulnerability. And I'm very vulnerable in this book, as you know.
I like that.
I am. But that right there would be considered weak. But in that vulnerability, you got to be open enough to say, okay, man, you know, I need this. Oh, let me try this.
Yeah.
Some people are mad because they got passed over for promotions on their job. I'm talking to somebody. I don't know who it is. But they're mad because they got passed over for promotions. They said, I show up to work all the time. I'm right there. And they look past me. You didn't put yourself in position for the promotion.
That's
the
it.
person that got the promotion,
Come on.
may have had conversations concerning the promotion.
That part.
They may have done certain things to get the promotion.
Yeah.
You're probably more skilled than that person.
Come on.
But that person put himself in position to get the promotion.
Put themselves in the open, man.
Don't get mad. Just have a position anyway. So.
No, that's real. That's real. And man, see, now you got me going up because I think about right, like prayer.
Yeah.
Right, and how you talk about putting yourself in position, having a conversation. The thing I love about prayer, man, is that it shows you, do you really want what you say you want? Because no matter what you subscribe to, no matter what religious deity you subscribe to, no matter what line of spiritual thinking you subscribe to, when you start speaking about the things you want, the challenges start showing up. To see, do you really want this thing?
That's the pushback.
Come on.
You're going to get some pushback. The pushback is to see if, you talked about the algorithm. The algorithm is to keep you in your place.
Facts.
You follow what I'm saying? So that pushback is going to push your thinking back. But if you keep pushing in prayer, say, I know, I believe it. I don't care what they said. I don't care if I was denied. I know that I'm qualified.
Come on. I got a partner that he said, pray. I'm trying to pray for patience. I want patience. I'm trying to gain some patience.
Bro.
At the same time, he was looking for a job. Got a job working with kids. Every conversation I had with the bro was about how the kids was driving him crazy. He just walking through the lineup. I'm like, but you prayed for that.
That's what you asked for.
That's what you asked for. Now we see how bad you really want, like that, and that's a beautiful thing. I love that about conversation, communication, prayer. Is that we're gonna see how bad you really want what you say you want. Oh, come on.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? And that willingness. So what happens is that God, thank you. Watch. The person that you need to be when that change happens,
Yeah.
it's not the person you are right now.
That's a fact.
You can't handle.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth. You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't handle where God wants you to be because there's some lessons that you got to learn to get there to be able to do what you need to do when you get there.
Come on.
I mean that.
A question I ask myself is, if you got everything that you said you wanted right now, would you know what to do with it? Would you know how to manage it? Would you know how to handle it?
That's a great question. No, and I answered that question to myself. No.
And same way. I'm like, no, I'm not there yet.
I'm not ready.
I'm not there yet.
I'll be happy with my average.
right. But that's the tricky part, because then it's like, I'm not ready for it, but help me prepare. Let me get prepared. Let me get prepared, right? Whatever it looks like. Do I need to season this chicken first?
Do I need to season it first?
Before I start cooking?
Bro, I never wanted to be a preacher.
Word. What got you into preaching?
Dude, so I knew that I was supposed to be a preacher
Okay.
when I was a kid. I saw it. And there was a guy in the church that I went to. They did what was called a trial sermon. And he got up. You know, he was a little older than me. And he got up and he did a trial sermon. And I saw, as he was speaking, I saw myself. And it scared the mess out of me.
Word.
I didn't really grow up in church. We went to Sunday school. You know what I mean? I wasn't part of the really church culture per se.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wasn't, man. Man, I went away to school. I'm kicking it. I'm like, you know, but then I'll kick it. But I'm going to church though. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Word.
I had this friend that I grew up with named Charles, man. And one day, man.
Wolf.
Wolf.
Shout out to Wolf, man.
Yeah. He's one day he was like, man, I'm going to church, man. You gotta believe in God, man. You gotta do. And he introduced me. He's telling me about this stuff, man. And I remember I'm on the phone with him when I'm in college.
Okay.
So I'm in college and I'm on the phone and I'm in my apartment all by myself, man.
Yeah.
And after I hang up the phone, man, I get on my knees and I begin to pray. And I said these words. I said, God, if you real,
Yeah.
I believe it. I seek it. But if you come into my heart, man, my life changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Immediately, I felt the change. Now watch this. So I remember telling my friends, I'm not doing, I'm cool now.
Yeah.
Bro, look, what's the name, man? I'm going to church. I love God and everything like that. My partner come over 2 days later. It was him and Jeff. This is the guy's name is Zach. And he comes over and they bring 340s, man.
Okay.
And they said, now, we know you ain't drinking no more, but we're going to put it in the refrigerator just in case you need it. We watching the game or something, they drinking, and we watching it. Oh, okay, this is what we're going to do. Man, before you know it, I popped that thing, and I'm drinking, and I felt like a failure because I felt like I committed my life to God, but yet and still here I am doing the same old stuff. I didn't realize that it was a process.
Come on. That's it. 100%.
I didn't know that it was a process, and that process was I gotta get closer to God to learn about how not to do. That's what you know what I'm saying. That's what I had to do. I had to do that.
Yes.
So, but I didn't start preaching right away. I started preaching a few years later. But I went to church, and I knew what I had to do. So it's been 30 years.
No doubt.
It'll be 30 years November the 15th.
And you've been married 30 years as well.
I've been married 30 years as well.
Oh, I want to jump to the marriage part, but I want to talk about preaching real quick and everything that comes with that, because I used to not be a believer.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? I studied 5% and all of that stuff, and it was, black man is God, and there was some things in there I was like, okay, this makes sense. Some things didn't make sense, and what changed it was when my uncle and my grandmother passed, and I said, oh, you don't run shit. You don't own, like you only control what you control, like, right? And it put that on my spirit. But something that I've recognized even as I navigated on my faith walk early on, the wilderness, right? Every story in the Bible, they go through some type of wilderness factor, right? And then it challenged them as a man. It doesn't shy them away from God all the way. It might be challenges in there that had them question, which I don't think God is challenged by your questions. You're like, cool, what you gonna ask me? I got you, right? but what I've seen, especially for brothers in my space, is that a lot of times they'll shy away from church because the pastor's faults, flaws, or shortcomings,
Come on, keep talking.
with the expectation that this man is supposed to be a man of God. He has no flaws. You're supposed to be perfect. It might be cheating. It might be drinking. It might be some type of thing that we see that makes us question, like, gives us an excuse.
It gives us an excuse.
It gives us an excuse
Yeah.
to part from that man
Yeah.
when we in line with the Spirit.
Right.
Right? What challenges have you seen as a pastor leading and also staying on your path?
Ooh, I mean, a lot of challenges, man. A lot of challenges.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I didn't really grow up in church, so I didn't know church culture.
Okay. And it's different. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't know the certain. Oh, wait. Some people say, "Well, you're not supposed to do that." I didn't know. You know,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know those things. When I first started preaching, I thought that I was supposed to be like somebody else. I thought I was supposed to preach like so and so. I thought I was supposed to do that like so and so. That's what I thought I did. So when I preached like so and so, or I did things like this, and that's what I believed I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But later I found out is that God gave me my own voice, and so my own voice, just like you and I having a conversation, that's how I preach.
I like that. I like that.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm challenging people, but it's a conversation, and that's what I'm talking about. So you talked about those challenges, man. It was challenging, very, very challenging to continue. How do I continue to believe? God told me to do this, man. I started a church at 25 years old. I started preaching at 22.
Yeah.
I started church 2.5 years, almost 3 years later, and I didn't know anybody that started a church. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I'm starting from nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, God said start this church. Okay, what do you do?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And it was hard. It was very, very difficult, because who do you talk to?
Right.
Who do you talk to say, hey, I don't know what to do, and be honest about I don't know what to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Because you're 25. Pride is heavy at 25.
Bro,
You starting your own church. You bought your house around that time too.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. Bought the house 2 months later.
Yeah.
So 25 was very instrumental, man.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the time, man.
Being open in that. Man, listen, I got a couple more questions I want to ask you. Right. First off, I want to ask, you've been married 30 years. Me and my wife just celebrated 11 of them things.
All right,
And
man. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. We got to, when we start our show back, Who Knows Who Best, we definitely got to get you and wifey on there.
That'd be wonderful.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give young married couples? Because 30 years, that's a lifetime.
It is a lifetime, man. And in that lifetime, there are hills and valleys.
Come on.
In marriage, that there's the high highs and then there's low lows.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you are connected.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? And so watch this. So when I do marriage counseling with people, this is what I talk. I'm getting ready to marry, someone to get married. There's a book that I have them read, and that's what we go through.
5 Love Languages?
No.
Okay.
5 Languages is an amazing book.
Okay.
But this book is called Single, Married, Separated, and Life After Divorce. Miles Monroe wrote this book.
Okay.
And so I use the book, and I use the chapters in the book to kind of talk about marriage. And one of the biggest things that he talks about in this book is that we teach people, two halves come together and they become a whole. Mm-hmm. That's what we teach.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Come on.
That's not true. You are an individual. You have two whole individuals.
Yeah.
Coming together in this covenant, this partnership between the two of you and God, right? So here we are, but it's not two halves. You're not giving a half of yourself away and then coming like that. That's why marriages don't work, because it's like, I'm half. This is my better half. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
We partners in this thing.
We partner. I love that you said that, because me and my wife's mantra, and we took this mantra on a couple years into we didn't go in thinking this, right? We took this on maybe 5-6 years in, was 200%.
200%.
Right?
Okay.
We both got to give 100. But if for whatever reason
Talk.
you at 50,
Come on.
I got to pull up that other 50. I got to be at 150
Yes, sir.
for this thing to stay balanced, right? If you at 30, I got to bring 107. And equally, if I'm at 20 for whatever reason, I need you to bring that 180 so we have this balance here, right? And that, I think that's extremely important.
You young when you got married, man.
I was 24. I was 24 when I got married.
24 when you got married.
24 when I got married. I'll be 35 this year.
Wow.
And we went through a lot. I mean, I was not always the greatest guy.
No,
I mean, as none of us are, right?
No, I'm with you there. We can tell the story. I can talk about pastor. I can talk about a husband. I can
You
talk
feel
about
me?
all that. Struggling.
Yeah.
You know?
Struggling.
That's struggle.
Come on.
And especially when you talk about what is a man,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and it's wild to think now that I made a joke on Twitter the other day, status, and I'm like, I feel bad for my single friends because it's so toxic out there because they have this belief that we're coming together already ready, already knowing where we at in life, already ready to like, no, you have to learn. Like the luxury I think me and my wife had, we were together since we were 19. Went through some bumps in the road before we got married, right? But what that allowed us to do was as we were learning who we are, we were able to learn each other. And we continue to learn each other. But if you come into a thing thinking you know who you are, because we don't know who the hell you.
I'm not that same dude.
Me?
I'm not that same guy. I was 22 when I got married.
You know what I mean?
We both were 22 when we got married.
Yeah.
So here we are, here in 30 years. I'm 52 years old. We're 52 now. At 52, it looks completely different.
Come on.
It looks completely different. There's some things, man, I don't weigh the same amount. I don't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're different. And because we're different, it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Because love grows.
Bro, you better talk about it.
Love grows. And if it stops growing, then you stagnant and you stuck. And anything that's stagnant or stuck is dead.
It's dead.
Come on, man. Ooh, listen, we could stay here and talk all day, Wakey. Real life, man, because I like to think I'm a motivator, inspiration, but you are one of my motivators and inspirations.
Bro,
in real life, man. And there's two people's business cards I always kept in my pocket. That was Brian Black and Don Sherman.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
There are two people who I would sign up to hear speak any day of the week, and that's you and Kevin Harrison. Because I love Kevin, right? And the way y'all put words together, the way y'all put thought processes together, the way y'all educate, motivate, and move. Because it doesn't just come with a motivation. Motivation is one thing, but it comes with some action behind it as well. I appreciate that. I got to ask this two questions, then I'll let you go about your day.
Okay.
With the success you've seen, right? You said you're 52, you're still young.
Yeah.
Right, I know a lot of times in our community, once we hit 30, we say that's old because of the trauma that we've dealt with.
Because of the trauma that we've
right, but you're 52, you're young,
right.
And you're on your path still.
Yeah.
What affirmed that you were on the right path?
Whew. That's an amazing question, bro. When I say that's an amazing question, I think little things affirm or confirm that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was supposed to get married because God told me to get married.
Okay, talk to me.
You follow what I'm saying? I'm serious. I mean, dude, right by your grandma's house. I was right there by your grandma's house. I had gone to my grandma had passed, but my aunt lived right there, 16.
Yeah.
And so I went over there to get some. It was the 4th of July, and I'm riding, man, and I'm driving right by Fairmount Head. My mama lived right there on Vassar, so I'm right there, bro. And the Spirit of God said, man, you need to get married. This was July 4th. Now, if God speaks to me, I'm blown away.
Okay.
But I know that I have to do something.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
July 4th, he speaks and tells me, and I'm like, man, what? I got married July 10th.
Wow.
6 days later.
July 4th is a significant day for you.
It is.
That's when the book came out.
You see that?
When God talking to you.
You brought it back. Look,
come on, man.
That?
That's major.
It is major.
That's major.
But that's
wow.
a liberty. That's a liberty in that. So that liberty, that right there speaks to obedience. It speaks to obedience. And what we do as men, you talk about pride.
Yeah.
We say, here, what do I get to this point? What do I got to be obedient? There's no obedience in God.
Come on.
That's how you find fulfillment. You find fulfillment in obeying what it is he tells you to do.
Yeah.
You know? Obedience releases blessings that you never even heard of.
Come on. Put you in the right room, put you in the right conversation.
talk about
Let you remove yourself from yourself.
Talk.
Come on. Listen. I got one more question for you, Wakey. Then we gonna wrap it, man. I got two more.
Okay.
I had two more. We're gonna take one more quick break before I ask these next questions. Tap in with our sponsors. Be right back. You tuned in to Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. It's just a conversation. And I hope you've been enjoying the conversation so far. Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David is a conversational interview series hosted by myself, where I sit down with various guests from various backgrounds, and we just have amazing conversation over different things going on in their world, the world, and things we want to see in the world, right? And these folks come from various backgrounds, from entertainers, athletes, corporate folks, entrepreneurs. I really can't say that word. Artists, creatives of the like, politics, just folks who have a great conversation to be had, a story to be told that will enhance and influence the likes of the folks listening. If you would love to be a sponsor on the Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David conversational series, then give me a hit at bigsammusic87@gmail.com and let's talk. It's just a conversation. Back to the show. Welcome back, loved ones. Now I said I got two more questions, but I might go more than that. We don't know yet. But one of the questions that I want to ask you, and these are questions that I'm working on asking everybody, right? So if you're gonna be a future guest, you should know. You should be ready for this. The first one: life is real, right? Challenges come, wins come, a lot of learning lessons.
Right.
What has been the most challenging moment that you've had as a man that has informed or guided the way that you navigate and move through your world?
I can think of several challenges. Losing my son was one of the major challenges in my life, man. That defined certain things. Because I told you, I questioned whether or not I was supposed to even continue to preach.
Yeah.
I'll continue to inspire and encourage other people. I asked myself that. Mainly because it's like, how can I talk about this when I have all of this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a defining moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was a defining moment. I've had some other defining moments in my life, man, where failure. I did a video the other day talking about mistakes, man, and
Okay.
in the video I was talking about how we think mistakes mean that we have failed.
Yeah.
But that's not the truth. It depends on your mindset. There's two different mindsets, right?
Okay.
There's a growth mindset, and then there's a fixed mindset.
Talk to us.
Fixed mindset is based upon things being fixed. It's right, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's black, it's white. It's no gray area.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't get it done, then you failed. If you don't do it right, then you failed. That's a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
And then you have a growth mindset. And I'm just kind of there's a lady by the name Carolyn DeWick, and you got to check her stuff out. She's called.
Okay.
But in this growth mindset, it's about learning.
Yeah.
Follow
Yeah.
me? It's about making mistakes that help you to grow. You read Malcolm Gladwell stuff?
I've read a little bit of my bookshelf in there. It's kind of nuts.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. You know where he's talking about becoming perfection. He's talking about 10,000 hours. Talking
Yeah.
about it takes 10,000 hours for someone to be a pro or perfect at something.
Definitely.
Now there have been arguments about that. Some say it's more, some say it's less. But
Okay.
it's up to. But you got to do something. But in that, there's failure that takes place in learning. Man, I play the keys. I do a whole lot of different things.
Word. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, man. God took from scratch, nothing. Didn't go to school, nothing.
Yeah.
But failure. It was failure. I remember buying a little thing and I'd be in front of my wife and just doing stuff like that. And I know I got on her nerves too. Bro, I can play anything, right? You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right now, because perfection came because I was persistent in my approach of learning.
Come on.
And I told myself, if I can type
Yeah.
without looking at the keys,
Word. That's
then
a real
I
thing.
can do this. I know I can learn this.
Yeah.
The notes are the same, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're the same, regardless of where you're going. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But if I can figure that out, I can do that. But that was a concept I made in my mind.
Yeah.
But that's one area. But you gotta be willing to fail.
Come on.
And in that failure, it's not. It doesn't define you as a failure
at all. I got an unreleased song with my boy Scooney, and in the verse I say it takes strength to fail.
Come on, love it.
Like it takes strength to fail, and the line after that is, and I shout out to my man J Love. His mom had a quote where she said, "I don't pray to God to move mountains. I pray for the strength to climb over them."
I love it.
You feel, and it was coupled with that, right? Because a lot of times we might fall on the way up and we're like, just get this out the way. But you don't learn nothing if it just gets out the way.
Right.
You don't get stronger, right? If you don't continue to climb.
You gotta climb.
Come on.
You gotta climb. That term, so average, I was struggling with a couple of this is what God said, average.
Yeah.
But that word mediocre. Mediocrity, that comes from climbing a mountain, man.
Yeah, come on. I think average, mediocre, comfortable.
It comes from climbing a mountain. Mediocrity, it talks about at a point of being at the place of being average.
Yeah.
And at that place, you can either go up or you can go down. But if you go down, you will always say to yourself that I have failed and I didn't finish.
Come on. Listen, it's wild you say that. It's random as hell, but it's a real thing too. I remember on an episode of Family Matters, Waldo was a goofball. He was silly, right? He's coming up the stairs, going into the house to carry this heavy package to drop off because they moving. Right. He gets to the door. It says, I can't make it. He can't make it to the kitchen. So he turns around and carries it all the way back out. Right? And how often do we be right there?
At the edge.
At the edge, right there, but turn around.
But we don't see the edge because he knew where it was, but it seemed like a mile away to him because of what he was carrying. The question is, what are you carrying?
Come on.
What are you carrying that's so heavy that it seems like your path is further than it really is?
Come on.
I mean,
that's a real thing.
Dude, I realized that, man. I had to unpack some stuff.
Yeah.
When I say unpack some stuff, I had to say, nope, that's some crap. Keep that. Nope, I don't need that. Nope, I don't need that no more. And it might be old mindsets or thoughts that somebody had about me that I owned because they said it about me.
And you believed it.
I believed it.
Because where you was at.
Where I was, and I owned it.
Or even who they were.
Who they were.
Come on, man. Listen. We can stay there forever because that's the real thing, man. And you talk about and vision.
Yeah. A
lot of times what we've seen before, we comfortable with what we've seen before without being able to have the vision so strong that if my vision is over there and I'm not paying attention to these bumps in the roads, I'm going to stay focused on what I see no matter what turbulence I'm hit with, no matter what road bumps I'm hit with, no matter what resistance I'm hit with, if the vision is that strong. Woo! All right, last question. What keeps you up at night? So you winning, right? You in a space of where you found you growing, you found purpose, right? You feeling you said at the top, right? Your spirit is in a much better place than it's been. You there now, right? What keeps you up at night?
Man, what keeps me up at night, and I'm up a lot at night.
Okay.
I wake up 2:30. I wake up 3:30. Whenever, but if I wake up, then there's a lesson.
Okay.
And that lesson is, okay, what am I doing? What do I need to be doing? And what do I need to correct?
What's your sign, Wiki?
Sagittarius.
Okay, I don't know much about Sag. Okay, but it sounds like a lot of course correction and improvement and getting better. Okay, I'm with you.
That's where I'm at. So, but I know there's still more for me to do.
Yeah.
You follow me? Dude, I think about myself at 30.
You must read my last question. I was going to say, what would you tell your younger self? Keep going.
I think about myself at 30.
Yeah.
At 30 years old, nobody could tell me anything. Nobody could talk me out of my vision.
Yeah.
Nobody could talk me out of my path.
Yeah.
And at 30, bro, I don't know what I was doing. I was just, people say flying by the seat of your pants. Dude, I met with a guy. I saw a building that I wanted. Found out who owned it.
Yeah.
Called him up and said, I want to meet with you. I want the building. We met at a restaurant. And in this restaurant, on a napkin,
yeah,
we wrote a deal on a napkin.
No doubt.
Bought this building at 30 years old, and I went in there and we began to tear down walls. And we created a sanctuary. We created a church.
Resurrection.
At 30 years old. Now, do I have that same belief that I had at 30? No.
Okay.
Those failures that I experienced.
Yeah.
Those hurts, those pains, those things that I experienced caused me to question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's caused me not to question God. It caused me to question me and my ability. But guess what? I said at 30, I did it. I didn't do it.
You didn't do nothing.
God was doing it the whole time.
Yeah.
All I had to do was believe. There are people that are watching right now, man.
Yeah.
That God has told them to do something and they think it's in them. It's not you.
It's God.
That's God.
It's God. It's God. It's all God.
God is doing it.
Yeah.
God is the one that's doing it. But he needs a vessel.
And you got to be willing and open.
He needs a vessel.
Yeah.
We are like vessels. We are like a conduit, right? That things flow through.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And God, the Spirit of God can't flow if the vessel is cut off.
The vessel nervous or hesitant,
Hesitant.
or scared or asking questions. And that's one of my favorite things about the Bible. And again, it's just from my thought process. I still, some of the stuff I'm like, okay, how can I still think it's being written to this day.
Oh, it is.
Right?
I see.
But I'm like, yo, how wild is it? Noah's like, yo, it's about to rain mad crazy, y'all. I need all the animals, and I need y'all to trust me. Get on this ark with me. Folks, it's like, you wilding, you bugging.
You bugging.
Right? And how often does that happen with our vision?
It does. How many years did it take him to build that ark?
Come on, that's another
It took
word.
him a long time to build it.
Yes.
So as he's building this ark, he knows that a flood is coming.
Yeah.
Because God already told him that a flood is coming. So people looking like, what are you doing? Some of us are building some stuff that it makes no sense right now. Man, I feel God. Right? You follow what I'm saying?
100%.
We are building something right now. It makes no sense in your current state.
Yeah.
But it will make sense.
And the people around you doubting it, are you wilding, you crazy.
Oh, man, crazy, man. You remember when you did? Oh, yeah. I remember when you were selling them no-way products. I remember when
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I think to the athlete homies, I think to the entertainment homies, I think to entrepreneurs, I think to everybody in any space that's working in purpose, on purpose, and how easy it is for the outside to not see the vision and not hear it, to tell you crazy. But if God put it on your heart, come on, who gonna stop you?
You better. So you know, like a horse, right? So
Yeah.
the horses, they put the blinders on the horse, right?
Yes.
And why do they put the blinders on the horse?
So you don't see nothing else. Tunnel vision.
They tunnel vision, and all they can see is what's in front of them, right?
Come on.
And so what happens is that sometimes we need to do that with our ears
Yeah.
and our eyes.
Yeah.
Meaning, because sometimes some of the stuff that's going into the ear gate, some of the stuff that's going into your ears is talking you out of your path. Saying, oh, you know you sorry. You know you soft.
You used to be.
You used to be. You know you can't make it. Huh? You're
Yeah.
always going to be this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are things right there that we got to get out, man. Sometimes, dude, I'm working out, whatever it is I'm doing, dude, I got music in. I'm going hard.
Yeah.
But I need something.
Yeah.
I need something. I'm not listening to anything around me. Find your lane. Find your passion.
Yeah.
And find what pushes you.
Ooh. Listen, Wakey, I appreciate you joining me today, taking time out of your day to share a word, to share your book, to share your journey, your path in life. And I'm hopeful, if nobody watching this picks up anything I have, right, because I'm moved, like my spirit is moved, and you are truly a gem to our community. Right, you are a blessing to our community. I talk about the Wichita Renaissance often. It involves the entertainment space, the political space, right, the business space. And I truly believe we are in a space as a community where our proximity is becoming a blessing again. So I appreciate you providing your blessings to our community on purpose, inspiring the youth, inspiring the adults, and being God operated.
And thank you. Thank you for having me on here. Thank you for letting me express myself.
100%.
Giving me the liberty, the freedom just to talk.
Yes.
And that liberty to talk. And so hopefully this conversation between you and I, those blessing us, that somebody watching this, that their life may be changed. They may be encouraged. They may feel compelled, feel pushed a little bit. You know, so.
That part. I love you, brother.
Bro, I love you too, man.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you,
Indeed. Peace, big love, and even bigger blessings. Q, talk to God.
Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. Then I talk to God, I'm gone. Yeah, whole lot of learning, not perfect. Whole lot of living my purpose. No limits like Percy. My soul never for purchase. My mind never not working. My grind never not worth it. My time never no hurry. Learn from the hare and the tortoise. Gotta see clear through the vision. Catch a nigga slipping, they'll lynch him. Can't be worried about the mentions. Good weed easing all the tension. What you scared of? Tell me what you fearing. Real nigga, that's a new religion. God told me go get it. When the big homie talking, better listen. Big guy coming through big things. Left hand got the big ring. Life story on the big screen. Big wins for the big team. Been him 616. These are hymns, not 16s. Waking up, living big dreams. You know how that work. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm zone. Don't know if I'm coming home. Don't know if I'm coming home. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm up now. So far gone, not coming down. So far gone, can't see him. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm gone. Yeah.